Hello, Mixed Nutcases. Hello, listeners of the Mega Feed or Mondo Feed. I'm not sure which one we should be saying, but this is Nuke and this is the 12 days of podcasting for Nutty Bites. Little explanation. I've already missed day one. And the reason I missed day one is I had a failure and I could not bring myself to the microphone. The way that I do my 12 days is it's a countdown to my holiday. This year, it might just be a little more than that. You might get a few extra episodes after, the big 25th. And I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping that Craig is going to keep this open considering how late Hanukkah is this year. We want to have an inclusive experience. So what I do is I make recipes. Usually they are recipes from listeners or family members or friends. And I started doing it this way as like a way to visit with people. And I think we started this just before the pandemic, actually. I think we did this in 2019, might have been our first one. But it was, we had just moved to a new city and I couldn't see people, but this was a way I could see people, and experience them in a way that is a little more intimate than your regular online communications. And I've been doing it ever since, and I absolutely love it. I've got a few new recipes, really excited to try out. Day one was Friday, and we had Aikido. We had a potluck the next day, and I had devised this wonderful recipe. It was based off of another recipe. I was going to make chocolate orange cupcakes, and I was going to do day one, the cupcake, because that's when I was baking it. And then I was going to do day two, the icing, because that's when I was doing the icing. And day one was a failure. Day one, I wanted to make these chocolate orange cupcakes. So the idea was I should have taken the recipe from my cookbook, but I took a new chocolate cake recipe and I said, you know what? This one has vanilla extract. I'll just replace the vanilla extract with orange extract. That doesn't work. I'm going to tell you right now, don't do that. Orange extract is so much more powerful than your vanilla extract, and it overpowers and makes your food inedible. Because I made the recipe, I changed the vanilla to the orange, and there was a lot. It ended up, I should have known that, it was calling for for 12 to 14 cupcakes, it wanted 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, which, looking back on it, is a lot. But because I had done this after Aikido, I wasn't thinking much, I suppose. And so for a double recipe, it would take 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And I just substituted with orange extract. Oh boy, that's a lot. And orange extract is kind of bitter because it's taking it from the rind, it's from the zest rather. So I also put in chocolate chips to give a little bit of surprise while you're in there eating that chocolate cupcake. I made a whole bunch. I made 2 dozen and then 2 extra big ones. Actually 4 extra big ones in my muffin pan. And then I said, the smell is smelling really strong. I don't know. And then I got them out and, they were inedible. I had to throw them right out. The problem was I had run out of cocoa powder. I did not have enough cocoa powder to make a second batch, which meant I was going to have to wake up in the morning and go to the grocery store as soon as it opened up at 8:00, which is what I did. And I will share the fruits of that labor in the next episode. I'm going to just power through. I'm going to make both episodes. So we're going to start with a failure. And I think that we can take a lesson away from this. This is a very stressful time. A lot of things are happening. There's a lot of stuff personally that's going on that I am not going to share on a podcast. But it can feel really frustrating. And there's so many things that you have to do. And one of the things that I needed to do is I needed to make a whole bunch of certificates for my Aikido students to give out at our potluck. And due to all of this, I did not have the time. And looking back, sure, I could have prepared for it. I could have done it sooner. I did not. I'm behind the 8 ball on a lot of different projects. And I think that we need to forgive ourselves. We need to understand that failures will happen, and that's okay. We learn from them. I have learned that orange extract is super strong and needs to be used very sparingly. I have also learned that you can move on. You can make a new plan. You can adapt and change. And that, I think, is going to be really important. Not everything has to be perfect. Not everything has to be done 100%. Do what you can and don't overwhelm yourself. Another piece of advice I'm going to take from this is try not to schedule too many things all at once. And I noticed with a friend of mine that they were doing that, and they made themselves sick just because they didn't have enough time to rest in between. So take the time. Don't schedule as much. As I'm recording this, I could have scheduled in 3 extra things today, and I decided to schedule none of them. Not none of them. I just decided to schedule 2 of them instead of 3. So take that time. You're going to need that time. It's the holiday season. There's a million things going on. People understand. They know that there's a million things going on. Prioritize the time spent with people. Prioritize the time you're taking care of yourself. And prioritize the time that you need. Self-care is important even in December. And I'm going to steal from another person in the mega feed, the Mundo feed. Tell your loved ones that you care about them and hug them. Make sure you get those hugs. Unless you're not a hugger, that's okay. But like your expression of endearment, make sure that you do that with your loved ones as often at any time that you can. So where is this mega Mondo feed? If you go to dogdaysofpodcasting.com, there is an RSS feed that has everybody on there. And we've got a whole slew of folks producing now. From Nimlas Studios, you have myself, and you also have Paul Mackey of the Idgicast, and he is putting out episodes of trivia. We have we have Chuck Tomasi, and he's been doing Christmas songs on his ukulele. We have Mark the Encaffeinated One throwing out some musings and ponderings. We have Amy Bowen doing the an Advent word of the day, reflecting on different words. Mimi Demar, actual Woman of the Sea, is back with the Bathtub Mermaid, putting out some really fun episodes. Chris A. Moody is putting out some good recollections as well, giving us a little tidbit and a little peek into his life. And I'm trying to remember, I'm sure there's somebody I'm missing. But yeah, come on back and give everybody a listen. It's a nice little collection. Some people started on December 1st. Some people are doing here and there. Some people are doing 12 days. And some people, like me, are later than they planned. And that's okay, because I'm going to forgive myself. Nutty Bites is produced by Nimlas Studios under a Creative Commons Attribution No Commercial Non-Derivatives 3.0 International License. That means you can't change it without my permission. You can share it and send it to your friends. Just link back to me, my site, and everything. We live at nimlas.org, which has links to everything social media, including facebook.com/group/nuttybites and patreon.com/nukejoss, or call 347-NUTTY42.